Today we're starting our deeper dive into all of the individual shorts in Star Wars Visions Volume 3. The same way the Duel kicked off Volume 1, its sequel is the first entry into Volume 3, and I think that's great. There's a reason the Ronin has become almost the mascot of Star Wars Visions. He's starred in a book, 2 comics, and he's got shirts and action figures and Funko Pops. The Duel and Payback by Kamikaze Doga and Anima set the stage very well for Visions, showing us a world with plenty of familiar Star Wars elements that are all remixed into something slightly different, all while using a distinct style. The gritty black and white Kurosawa aesthetic mixed in with splashes of color for the lightsabers and explosions, it just looks awesome. This one is dripping with style. The AT-AT gambling hall is really cool, and I love Kedama, the little Anzellan who runs it, riding around in a mouse droid with speakers to amplify his words in Basic, even though you can still hear his little Anzellan voice. But Anae, the Twi'lek Sith, is such a great character design. I love how her Leku are tied up, and her duel with the Ronin is just plain badass. The way everything seemed to be designed around this fight, just so the walkers could flip upside down and then we'd have those moving platforms, I love it. The Grandmaster is also freaking awesome. The way he's drawn to phase in and out, becoming just lines. This is the kind of thing that makes me love that Visions is animated, so we can go really crazy with how things are portrayed. So we see the Grandmaster was really badly hurt by the Ronin back when the Jedi and the Sith were at war. He's got a ton of cybernetics now, and these pieces on his head glow blue normally, but then start to go purple as he creeps towards the dark side, wanting to get revenge. He nearly does, but the Ronin's droid sacrifices himself to save his master. They're both found near death by the Ewoks that worked at the gambling den, and they're wonderful. I love that they have back to hot springs to heal everyone in, and so the Ronin teams up with Anae and the Ewoks and Kedama to defeat the Grandmaster. The Ewoks are so fun. I love that they have little flippers and goggles. Just like Ewoks should be, they're very cute, but then they start springing traps and stabbing soldiers mercilessly. They're kinda terrifying, but I still do not appreciate seeing them get shot. I've still got trauma from Return of the Jedi, like most of us do. Anae uses the Ronin's collected Sith Kyber crystals to unleash a new prosthetic arm lightsaber emitter that would make General Grievous jealous. And this is the kind of thing that makes me so grateful for Star Wars Visions, because it lets me appreciate stuff like this. It lets cool things just be cool, when honestly if something like that popped up in a canon movie, I'd probably get all nerdy and pedantic and be like, that's a little much. Because it would be for the overall tone that most of Star Wars has established. But in Visions, go off. You want a lightsaber umbrella? Do it. You want 15 tiny blades coming out of an arm? Of course, please tell me more. A lightsaber coming out of a leg? Yeah, we'll get to that. The duel itself is awesome, and it better be if that's the name of the short. The Ronin points out that balance can only exist through the light side and the dark, and that takes me back to the Clone Wars and Yoda's revelations in Season 6. He has to confront the darkness within himself, and instead of rejecting it, he accepts it. He defeats it by acknowledging that there will always be darkness within him, and he must learn to live with it, rather than to deny its existence completely. The Grandmaster in Payback seems to think as long as his lightsaber is blue, then he's a warrior for the light, but he has been consumed with the idea of revenge and judgment, whereas the primary Sith character has changed his ways after the war. He has been traveling the galaxy hunting down other Sith who continue to prey on the weak. I don't think he himself considers himself some avatar for the light, but he is acting more like a Jedi than the Grand Master is. The Ronin defeats his enemy in a similar way as Yoda. He accepts the darkness, letting the Grand Master stab him so he can hold him still, and Anae can finish him off with a lightsaber leg to the head, which was wild. As the Grand Master dies, he struggles to recognize which of the lightsabers belongs to him, and wields a red one in his final moments of life. And so the Ronin prepares to depart, but has a flirtatious, playful fight with Anae. It makes me wonder if he actually might stick around with this group instead of leaving, or maybe they'll join forces or something. Either way, it was a fun ending, and I liked the two of them together. I thought the Duel Payback was a great way to kick off Volume 3. Badass, perfectly styled, and exciting to watch. Before finishing this video though, I wanted to touch on the book and the comics that have come out in the past couple of years. I was curious if Payback would follow an internal canon of sorts, specifically because the book establishes that the Ronin has a daughter, and right now, I would say maybe. Obviously, the short doesn't go out of its way to acknowledge the events of the book, but it also doesn't do anything to contradict it. We don't know when this story takes place either, so the jury is still out, but it doesn't really matter. It's not an important question because this is Visions. It's allowed to do whatever it wants, but I can't help myself. I'm always curious about this kind of thing. But those are my thoughts on the Duel Payback. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. I'll be covering the other shorts in the coming weeks, so make sure you catch those by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, following us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.